Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am playing with my friends Bullets and Dumpy, and we are mainly kind of just playing for fun, but I have like a small little group chat that I made so I could like get help for like videos that I was wanting to make. So, you know, friends that like I meet along the way, I pretty much just invite them to this chat. And so as like kind of a funny joke, I was like making these roles. So I gave myself like a Ruby God one, and I gave Elsa a Chemist God one. And I think Dumpy had made a comment about wanting one for Osa, and I had made the comment, I was like, well, I've never seen, you know, any Osa gameplay, so you're, you know, out of luck, blah blah blah, just like joking around. And so mainly he was like, okay, well, we'll play blah blah blah. And so that's kind of how we started playing today, at least, was just so he could, you know, prove a point that he was Osa. And he's good, so props to him. I still haven't made the roll, and I haven't even given it to him, so I don't really know. Maybe I'll get around to it tomorrow, I don't know. It's just more funny than anything, but that was just kind of the whole premise of how we even kind of started playing today. Then, of course, you know, Bullets. Usually me and Elsa play with him, I would say, most of the time. I would say probably every day, if not like kind of every other day. It's usually kind of us three that play together, I would say. None of us were talking so much in really any of these gameplays, and we were kind of just playing who we wanted to play. I was playing JJ just because mainly I was feeling just a little rusty on him. I felt like I was losing my, you know, mad JJ skills. And settlement had just happened, so if you didn't know, every 2 weeks trophies reset. So if you're like over a certain point, your trophies get reset down to a certain point. So, you know, if you're at, you know, 785, you're gonna get, you know, set back down to like 750. So it's just like that. So my JJ was, I think, at like 1500, so he got set back down to, I think it's like 1150, and that goes for anything that is above, I think, rank 35. So if you push trophies and you're, you know, above rank 35, just know you will be set down to 1150. That is how it goes for all of them. So I was, you know, just playing JJ, just warming up my skills. I also just really enjoy playing him. I wish there was kind of like a way, maybe there will be in the future, I don't know, to like reset your trophies completely, like on your own. Maybe not necessarily get like rewards for it, but it's kind of hard to play some of your, you know, characters that are high glory on your own without, like, if you don't have friends on and you really want to play, you know, say you have a Shell that's, you know, really high glory, and you really want to play Shell because you enjoy playing Shell, but none of your friends are on, or they're all playing, you know, ranked, or they already have a full party, and you really want to play her, but you don't want to play with randoms. I wish there was a way for you to be able to, like, kind of reset your trophies back down on your own. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I think that would be really cool, because there's a lot of times that I wish that I could play like JJ or Ruby or my Scotty or my Judex that I have super high up without the fear of like losing like horribly with randoms, you know? But kind of going off topic just a little, in this gameplay, these people that kind of have like the half names, the Hap and I think the Cam, they, I believe, are my old bandmates. I think. I'm pretty sure they are. Everyone, if you didn't know, I was in El Hydra, and, you know, a bunch of stuff happened, neither here nor there. But a lot of them left, and when everyone kind of left, everyone changed their names. And if I'm honest, I don't keep up with all of that. I don't keep up with the drama because I just frankly don't care. But a lot of them changed their name, and occasionally I will, you know, run into them, or I'll maybe like recognize them, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's, you know, who they are, blah blah blah, stuff like that. But I think that the Hap person, I know who they are. I'm not gonna like say their name, because I think I played against them the other day as well. But it was just really interesting that we got paired against them again, because this is the second time that this has happened. I was a little annoyed that they were playing Kelvin though, because I dislike good Kelvins. I really don't like good Kelvins, especially Kelvins that can, you know, really aim, that can aim the snowballs really, really well. Just because, like, there's really no way to counter it, especially on such small maps. Like, he's really good on small maps, so I'm not hating them for using him. I'm just, you know, saying it just sucks, you know. Just because it's like Christina, you know, on small maps. Christina, you know, excels really, really well because, you know, she can bounce off walls really, really well and everything like that. So it's just one of those things where it's just a map advantage for certain characters, and you know, whether he got lucky for, you know, just having to choose Kelvin and getting the map, or I don't know. I'm just saying though. But the shell was a little annoying. I will say Dumpy was putting in some work as Osa, and I think that's what kind of actually like saved us a lot in this game. If we didn't have him on the team, like, more than likely would have lost. So he definitely carried for sure. So yeah, props to him, definitely putting in the work. I could tell that they were definitely getting just a little bit frustrated with him, because I noticed that the shell in particular was going after him kind of more and more as the game went on. And you know, I understand it and I get it, and that's fine. I just think it's funny. But yeah, it was a really fun game. It was pretty intense. I know the last time I played against them, it was also a really intense game, so I enjoy playing against them because they're really good players, and I enjoy the challenge, and it's really good practice. I don't really know how I got MVP. I think it's probably because I got a lot of assists, and I think I quote unquote stayed alive the longest. Like, I just didn't die as much. But
3, 2,
I'm not too sure how the whole MVP thing works. There's a lot of things out there that, you know, people will argue over on what gives MVP and what doesn't, and it's just like this whole thing, and it's not even worth, you know, getting into. So this is like the kind of the start of the Vincent games, I would say. I think in this whole like little collection of games that we played together, we played like 4 or 5 games with so many Vincents in them. It was kind of insane. Like, I've never seen so many Vincents. Granted, like 2 of the games it was the same Vincent, so we played like the same person, but still, like, for kind of as quote-unquote rare as Vincent is, in the sense of like he's arcade and everything like that, and he's, you know, just expensive altogether, it was just kind of crazy that he kept getting paired against teams that had Vincents on their team. So it was just, I don't know, crazy. And it's just one of those things that you're not used to kind of like playing against, so you don't necessarily know what to kind of look for. Like, you do and you don't. And I know a couple of these times I remember like being in these games and I'll be like looking and I like see myself running like in front of me, like right there. I was like, that's me, but I'm me. But that's me. What am I doing? I'm right here. So then, like, you know, you kind of do like a little double take. You're like, huh? Like, am I lagging? Like, is it, like, is the game kind of like that messed up? Am I lagging that bad? And then you got, you know, you just take a second and it just has to process and everything like that. So, I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, I personally think it's funny. It's just one of those things that I think until you kind of see more of him, it is just gonna throw people off. I know I know in one of the games that we played, that we were playing against a Vincent, I'll make sure to point it out too, but just thinking about it, me and Bullets were running by each other, and I didn't know if it was Bullets or not, so I shot him because I wasn't sure if it was Vincent, and I'm pretty sure he shot at me too because he thought I was Vincent, because we were running like side by side, and I think we both thought we were Vincent. So I'll make sure to point it out because it's actually pretty funny. But he's really good at bamboozling people, and I know that's the whole point of him. I will say though, I don't know if well, like right there, like I wasn't sure, he was kind of like dancing on that heel really weird, and so I wasn't sure if it was like Vincent or not. So, you know, I just had to do a little checky check.
Your team is about to win.
And I know, again, I don't know if anyone else has really experienced it too much. But in some games, kind of playing against Vincent, his sword, when he is killing like people on my team, is so loud. And I mean loud. It is the most obnoxious sound I have ever heard. Like, I'll be across the map, nowhere near him, and it's like right there, right behind me. It is so loud. And like, if my game sound's not even up, doesn't matter if I'm recording, if I'm not, had headphones in, if I don't have headphones in, it doesn't matter. It's so loud, but it's not all the time. I don't know if anyone else kind of experiences that. I don't know if it's like an audio bug or what. I don't know what it is. I don't know if anyone else kind of experiences that. And it's only with him, and it's only his melee. So if anyone else kind of experiences that, that would be nice to know. If not, maybe it's just like my iPad, maybe something's wrong with it. Maybe I need to get it fixed. So in this game, the one like major downfall of JJ, sadly, is Ling and Hunter. Mainly because of the scans. JJ is useless when it comes to scans because he's then visible in his puddles and you can't do anything. And it's just really unfortunate because, again, playing, pubs, you don't know what your opponents are going to pick. So you're going into it kind of blind. And unfortunately, I've, been in a lot of games where I've gone up against people who have Hunter and Ling on the opposite team. And I can't do anything because Hunter is just spamming his bomb grenades. I can't get close, and JJ is a close range character, and I've had people get mad at me. They're like, you need to stop camping, and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I can't get close enough. I literally can't do anything but just stand here. Like, I'm just gonna feed them kills, and then they're gonna win, and then you're gonna be even more mad because, now we've lost because I fed them, 10 kills because I can't get close. So it's just, it's just one of those things. It's just a counter to the character. It just sucks when, it's two counters on the opposite team.
It also sucks when the opposite team kind of has an Alita that isn't necessarily good, but kind of just runs around and is just a little bit of a nuisance because Alita is just so loud, especially with kind of her first and second ult. Like, not even, like, just, her ults being broke and just the character itself kind of being broke, but both of them are, just really loud ults. Like, they're just both so loud and kind of distracting, and I don't know if it's, kind of meant to be like that, but I don't know. It, I guess, kind of works in that way. But yeah, it's definitely distracting, especially with like a Sindri and her turret. It's just like so much noise in a match. Especially like on top of like JJ's skin, the one that I'm using that like plays like the DJ disco music as well, doesn't help things. So it's just like a loud match. In this game, this Ling and Iris were like attached to the hip. The Ling was trying to be like a wannabe Sweat. She was kind of after me a bit. I felt very like targeted by her. Again, another Vincent, making it their appearance in our games we were playing. And I don't know about anyone else, but if you do have Vincent, I think I've kind of gotten used to being able just to quote unquote track him in the sense of, he's probably going to stick really close because he's a very close range character. And in a lot of these games, I was able to like kind of predict his like movement a little bit. There were a couple games where it was a little questionable how he got some kills and everything like that, but yeah, this Ling thought she was doing something like crazy and everything like that. She definitely was trying to be like a try-hard. So was the Iris a little bit, which is a little annoying because nothing's kind of worse than an Iris with an ego, I personally think, just because then they're a little bit more difficult to kill, and Irises are already, really annoying to kill, like, regardless. And, like, right there, like, there is, Vincent again, coming up as me, and I'm like, oh my god, there's me. And one of my favorite things to do with JJ, and I don't know if anyone else kind of does this, but one of my favorite things to do with JJ is to use his ult as kind of like a defensive move, or like to block off a room, because no one's gonna go through it because it slows you down. It doesn't necessarily do like, you know, a crazy amount of damage, but it like really slows you down. And I mean, that's enough of a deterrent that people just aren't gonna go through it. Maybe like a Shell or an Alita will, but for the most part, people just, you know, won't go through it. So what I kind of like to do, if I'm being chased by someone and I know that they're like hard chasing me, I will place it down and continue like to like run, because at least I know that they're not going to follow on that same path, and they're either going to like deter to another path, or they're going to be like psycho and keep running straight through it. And, you know, they'll be slowed down, they're going to take some damage, and, you know, if they're low enough health, like, then they'll, you know, get killed, and cool. But most of the time that's not necessarily what happens, but it's just something that I personally like to do. I don't, you know, everyone's gameplay and how they like play JJ is, you know, different. But 9 times out of 10, I, you know, will use his ult for more defensive than offensive. But it kind of just depends, you know, on the situation. In this gameplay, I definitely was getting just a little too confident in my skills. I kind of forgot how kind of obnoxious Hunter is, and just how broke of a character he is. I have so much hatred for Hunter. I think he's just really broke as a character. I know nothing will ever really change for him, like, at all. I could see maybe a damage nerf being the only thing they will ever change.
Good job.
And even then, it's not gonna be that crazy of a damage nerf. But I personally just have such a strong hatred for Hunter. I think he's just one of those characters that doesn't take a lot of skill to use and master, and I feel like he's one of those characters that it doesn't matter your ping. You could be on the same server, same ping, you could be in the same room with someone, and you could be behind a wall, and a Hunter is still going to be able to kill you behind a wall after you've moved behind the wall, because of, you know, just his mechanics and how his, like, bullets work and all of that. So, I don't know. I just have a strong hatred for him.
Your opponents are halfway to victory.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care. But so in this game, the Sindri, Judex, and Hunter, after they kind of started getting killed a bunch, we all kind of we were getting a little too like kill greedy, and we were camping their spawn, and we could have definitely ended this game with a lot less kills for them, like I guess kills on us, but we were kind of getting a little like antsy and like kill greedy. Like, we wanted kills, but they were just sitting in their spawn, and it's really boring when, you know, they do that. It's a smart move when you have high DPS characters, because when you have two flankers like JJ and Alita that are very squishy amongst high DPS characters like they had, it's very easy for them to get kills. So we were just getting really antsy, and we just wanted kills, and I kept sitting on this side because I wanted kills, so I was gonna try and see if I could flank them, but every time I would kind of do that, Hunter would just throw his like flare bomb to try and scan me, like, every time. And I was like, oh my god, like, look the other way, go away, like, stop looking at me. So it was a weird game. I didn't like it. I was pretty happy though that the last kill was on Hunter, so I felt pretty good about that. And of course, I got MVP. I cut out the parts when we were back in lobby and Bullets was typing in the chat. He goes, "I hope you're happy with your MVP," because I think in most of the games until Bullet switched to I think Sindri, I think I was getting MVP like every game, and any of the games that we lost, I think then Dumpy was getting like the SVP with Osa. I think I'm not too sure, but it was pretty funny though, regardless. But in this next game though, this Alita, I don't know what she was doing. I think she wanted me to chase her initially in the beginning of the game, and I just like completely ignored her because I have found that that is what, at least in like pubs against like random Alitas, that is what they want you to do. They want you to chase them because then they like quote unquote have like the upper hand, and I have just stopped doing that because then I know that they get kind of frustrated because it's like, oh no, like chase me so I can do a cool super double jump trick shot, you know, cloak bomb on you and ha 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 ha, I got the kill. But if you just like ignore them and like run past them or, you know, don't chase them or anything like that, then they're like, oh, well, now what? You know? So I just started ignoring Alitas that are clearly obnoxious and like wanting you to chase them and wanting you to engage in that sort of fight. I just leave them alone. And it seems to actually work pretty well because then I think it kind of throws them off a little bit. Like it just kind of throws them off because they're just not used to it. So I kind of noticed, like, I've noticed that. Maybe not all Alitas, but definitely some of them. I think this Scotty, though, I think turned into a bot. I think the person closed app or something, lagged out, whatever you want to call it. But definitely turned into a bot probably after the first couple of kills. I know the Hunter, though, on the team was definitely getting frustrated. Kind of playing in these like high like glory gameplays, even in like pubs, it's really fun. I enjoy the challenge. There was one game we played, it was probably the most obnoxious game we ever played. There one person that they played, someone was playing like the baby was not good, but every time that they would get low, both of their teammates would just like turn around and shoot us. And that's what kind of gave them the win, is like they had like this major handicap, and oh my god, it was just really unfortunate. I don't know. So again, here is another Vincent. It must have, like I said like earlier in the video, it must have just been the day of Vincent's. I don't know. But in this game in particular, I don't know, like I can't remember if the Sindri on the other team had her shield or she had the first ult, and I don't know if that is how I was able to see Vincent, but I'm gonna see if I can kind of point it out. I was able to see Vincent in his like cloak, like his ult. I don't know if that is normal. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what that is about. I don't know if it's because he had a shield on from Sindri. and that's kind of why. I noticed the other day that Sindri's new skin, if you're playing Shell and you have one of her shields, you go like into her like invisibility, you can still see her even though she's invisible, but you still see the shield. So it's just really weird. I don't know what's kind of going on with that, but I'll try and see if I can point it out, because I saw it while I was playing, so I'll try and see if I can kind of point it out while I'm doing this, and maybe you guys can too. It was just the weirdest thing, and I don't know. And again, maybe you always have been able to see him while he's in his cloak, like kind of how like Alita, you could see like her little trail like when she's kind of coming out of it, right there. See, you see how I could like see those little dots, and like then right there, you see what I mean? I don't know what that is about. Can't tell if that's because he has like a Sindri shield or what. Like I said, I don't know what other ult that Sindri has. I don't think I got kind of close enough to be able to tell, really. But it's kind of hard to see. You might have to like kind of play it back. I might take a clip and honestly put it at the very end of this video and like slow it down, because I'm just curious, like, is that normal? I don't know. Does anyone else experience that whenever they like kind of play against like Vincent's? It was just weird. I don't know. It might be normal, but again, I just don't ever really play against Vincent, so I don't know. And then like, I've just been able to kind of track Vincent's really, really easy. So I don't know if they like did something to him to where it's like easier or what. I'm not sure, but in this last gameplay, I will say this team that we played against can kick rocks. They were the most obnoxious, annoying team we played all night. For no reason. Like, they were glued to the hip. Like, look at that. What is that? Mark, Hunter, and Iris? Like, that is weird. That is gross. Go away. The Iris and, not Mark, sorry. The Iris and Hunter were definitely playing together. Like, they were definitely probably, like, friends or, you know, whatever. They were playing together for sure. I don't know necessarily about the Mark. But, oh my god, this team they were so sweaty for no reason. Like, I swear, they were like, it felt, the Hunter was definitely coming after me the most, it felt like. I felt like the Mark kind of was too, just a little bit, not necessarily the Iris, but the Iris like wouldn't engage in like any fights unless the Hunter or Mark was around, which is smart, but at the same time kind of frustrating, because I'm like, no, get over here and fight, you know? Like, get over here and fight. And it was, oh my god, it was just a weird game. And we were just getting so frustrated because, personally, I'm not used to Marks using his first ult. I am used to them using the obnoxious, like, second ult that, you know, blocks the vision and stuff. So having 2 scanners and the one scanner that stays for an obnoxious amount of time is very unfortunate, especially as JJ. I'm not even gonna lie, like, it just kind of sucks. So I was just kind of at a disadvantage in that sense, but it's also such a big map, and it also is just, you know, map disadvantage, just because I have to like try and compensate for that. But his hunter, he was so like wiggly too. But I got a couple kills on him, and I felt pretty good about it. I'm not even gonna lie. But this game though, it was stressing me out. It was so dumb. It was just so dumb. And like, I kept getting stuck on walls, and I just kept feeling, you know, really targeted, and they were all just like moving as a unit. And of course, towards like the end of this game, I'm not even like, look at them. All of them are hunting me. Like, what is that? Like, they were separating out, and they're like, yeah, go after him. Like, what is that? So, kind of towards the end of this game, they're literally chasing me. They are chasing me. What is that? So, as this game is, like, coming to an end, they start chasing me, like, full on around the map, throwing their stupid hunter scans, just chasing me. And I wasn't gonna let them kill me. So what do? Typical me. I jump off the map. I was like, nah, I am not gonna let them get a kill on me. So that is what I did. But I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.